So it's been a month or so since Skip Bayless left Fox Sports to solely focus on his own podcast, The Skip Bayless Show, and I think right now he's on a media run. Skip did an interview with the Washington Post and was also on Barstool's Pardon My Take on Friday, so it was something I definitely decided to watch because Skip doesn't really do too many interviews, but I guess he felt that he had to get himself out there again. He had that messy divorce with Shannon Sharpe a year ago, and then his revamped Undisputed show with a rotating cast didn't really take off, so now he's going the independent route away from the machine, hence these interviews are going to get him in the faces of many viewers. Anyways, during this interview with Big Cat and PMT, the question was asked about Shannon's departure from Undisputed, and Skip actually said something that was kind of shocking. For some background, their relationship quickly soured after Bayless challenged Shannon by questioning his credentials during a Tom Brady debate, and things between them just never seemed to recover after that. That said, listen to what Skip had to say when asked about Shannon's firing and his role in that move.
Trust me on this, I love that guy. And we were together for 7 years in a very different way than you guys are together because we took it up a notch from Stephen A. and I, because in the end, Stephen A. is more of a showman, an entertainer. So our debates could be a little sillier than the ex-pro football player now in the Hall of Fame versus me, because I do know football, and I would take it to whatever depth Shannon wanted to go to on X and O football. Wherever he wanted to go, I'll go there. Because I learned from a lot of great people in this business. I learned from Don Shula and Bill Walsh and Tom Landry and Jimmy Johnson. I know football. I don't know the jargon that Shannon knows about 22-man and bomb blitz and whatever the Denver Broncos used or the Baltimore Ravens used for jargon. But we would get into it about football, and he would get miffed occasionally that I would dare to go that deep with him about football when I didn't play football. Mm-hmm. And I've said this from day one, my experience debating pro football or basketball players is the greater they were at playing, sometimes the less they actually can explain about why that or that or that happened. Because not that they didn't work hard, but it came so naturally to them that they can't see or feel exactly why it works. See Michael Jordan as the team builder in Charlotte, who was the biggest disaster of a general manager in the history of sports. The greatest performer and player in the history of sports was the worst team builder in the history of sports for those many years in Charlotte, because he couldn't see why can he play and he can't, because he was too supremely gifted at what he did.
Yeah.
Okay, so we would clash occasionally on the football part. Don't you understand? I'm in the hall. Yeah, I get it. I understand, but that doesn't mean I can't have an opinion that's correct about whether he can or can't play. So my point is, I loved every minute with Shannon, but we took it to levels of supreme debate where it went right to the edge and occasionally slightly over the edge of competitive.
Yeah.
To where we got mad at each other. And by the 7th year, it's a long time, man. We had some great runs. We did some big ratings numbers, trust me, that will never be touched again in FS1 history, I doubt. God bless them, but I doubt it. But the point was that, yeah, in year 7, did we fray a little bit? Sure we did. But I fought for him to stay, and I don't know what happened between Shannon and the people upstairs because I was not privy.
Right.
But he went before I went,
Yeah.
you know, and it tore me apart.
Yeah.
I did not want him to go, and I told him the last day, I sat with him in his dressing room, and I said, I envy you because you're going to get to go do what I want to do.
Right.
I still had a year left on my deal. And he got pushed out the back door, and it tore me up, and I missed him.
Okay, so y'all catch that at the end there? Skip is claiming that he had no idea that the brasses up top were getting rid of Shannon and that he had no say in that decision. How many of you actually believe that claim? I mean, Skip was getting paid double what Shannon got, and honestly, I just don't see a way where the bosses make a move like that without notifying Skip. I don't know if Skip is just trying to clean up his image a bit here because he has taken a real hit over the last couple years after the incident with Shannon and the DeMar Hamlin tweet, but for him to come out and say that he had no idea about the firing or had a hand in it, I call cap. I just don't see how that's even possible. It was his show, and we all heard the rumors about the amount of pull Bayless had on the network. I could understand if he was upset at Fox for not settling the dispute between the two stars after they butted heads, but that's about it. Fox sided with Skip and essentially bet on the wrong horse. Shannon has since ascended to the top of sports media with his 2 podcasts and First Take, while Skip seems to repair his reputation in the industry. I don't know, guys, what do y'all think about this claim made by Skip?